25, posted on a bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Matters of discussion. We will now hear from Willentz, our bond attorney. Mr. Everett Johnson is here from Willentz.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, man? How you?
Council President, members of the council.
Hi.
Hope you guys are all doing well this evening. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So I've been asked to come this evening. I'm not sure exactly what you guys want to hear from me, but I want to start off by you had a recent bond sale. I know you guys are all aware of it. I assume that's probably what prompted the request. I know maybe even some of you had questions before. So I'm going to just start with a little bit of overview about that, and then I will then take questions from you all and try to answer all the questions to the best of my ability. Does that make sense?
Thank you. Yes.
All right, so the city sold $4,595,000 worth of bonds last week, $29,034,944 worth of notes, and $700,000 worth of special emergency notes. A little bit of background on the bonds. First, that the bonds were issued to finance a portion of notes that were issued last March, a portion of notes that were issued in November, and an additional $614,000. What I mean by finance, meaning permanently financed. So just taking a step back, there's two types of debt issuances the city normally issues. There's notes, and notes are issued and they basically have to mature within 1 year from the date of issuance. So if we issued a note and close that note tomorrow, it will have to mature, which means be paid off by next March 7th to 18th of next year. Bonds, those have a maturity schedule over multiple years. And so when we sell bonds, they'll be paid off over a number of years, depending upon the type of capital assets that are being acquired or improved with the bonds will factor into the maturity schedule for the bonds. And so things such as sewer, building improvements, may have a 30-year useful life. Police cars be 5 years. Certain equipment might be 7 years. You kind of average it all out, and you get a maturity schedule. The bonds here are being paid off they mature in 2049. So I believe that is like a 7-year maturity, a 24-year maturity schedule, 23. And so that's because of all the different types of improvements that are being acquired with those bonds. That's the average life of all those assets, and that is how you determine the maturity schedule. The average impact for that bond issue is going to be about $18 per household. The notes are also being issued now to refinance outstanding notes that mature this year. Why some notes and why some bonds? Because when you issue notes for the first 3 years, you have the option of paying interest only without making any principal paydowns. After your third year of maturity of those notes, you have to make paydowns as if you issue bonds. At that point, it may make sense to issue permanent bonds to finance them because you're not really saving anything by just rolling notes over and kicking the can down the road again on those same ordinances. It's better to start paying issuing bonds and paying principal annually to pay it down so that you can actually permanently finance your assets. The determination as to when to finance permanently and when the finance we call it temporarily, which is what we do with notes, that's not really made by me. That's only made by your financial advisors. The financial advisors, the firm is NW Group, the NW Financial Group for the city. They sit with Niall and Chris and myself. They kind of go through the city's debt profile. They make recommendations about when the city should go out for permanent financing, when they should do short-term financing. We all kind of collaborate and look at what they say, and then, Niall makes the decision as to which way he thinks is best for the city. But the financial advisor is usually the consultant that kind of comes in and actually advise the city about what they think the city should do from a financial perspective. I, as the bond counsel, just come in and actually make sure I paper everything and make sure it's all legally done. We comply with all state statutes, federal security laws, and the IRS code because a lot of the debt we issue is tax exempt. What else do I want to say, you guys? I know part of the question was gross debt. The The city has right now gross debt, and I'll explain the difference between gross and net debt, $123 million of gross debt outstanding. And that is basically all the debt that's been issued that's still outstanding, over a number of years. Now, net debt is basically you subtract out of that number school debt, which is not paid by the city's budget, and you subtract out of that debt we consider self-liquidating, which is basically water utility debt. That's primarily paid by water and sewer fees. So the net debt, which is paid pretty much out of your local municipal budget, is $36 million, about $37 million, $36.5 million. That's the net debt of the city of Orange, and that's what's being paid out of your annual budget for the city side of the year. Even though I know the utility is still part of the city's budget, it has its own fees. So the fees generated from the water and sewer are sufficient to pay for the expenses related to that debt specifically, and not property taxes. The net debt limit for all municipalities in the state is 3.5% of your equalized tax base, or your average equalized tax base for the last 3 years. The city's net debt limit is 1.47, which is very reasonable for a city of this size. So you have decent amount of room left to issue more debt for other capital needs that the city may have. With that being said, I think I'm going to stop here. And outside of the debt that I mentioned earlier, we just issued last week, the city has one other note that was issued in December for $7.8 million that matures at the end of this year. That we're likely going to pay a portion of that down and roll that over again for the following year. But that is pretty much a synopsis of the outstanding debt, the debt we issued last week. If you want any more details about anything I just said, if you want me to repeat anything I just said because I said it so fast, you had no idea what I was talking about, please feel free to just ask me questions or say, can you repeat that again or dig in, and I'll respond accordingly. So I'll turn it over to you, to the council, for any questions you may have.
Council President?
Councilman Coley?
Yeah, you said $18 per household. Is that monthly or
No,
annually?
no, it's annually.
Annually, okay. Okay,
Good question, man.
okay.
Council President,
Councilman Ross?
how you doing, sir?
Good, doing well. How are you,
Good. Can
Councilman?
you just answer this question for me? What are the biggest risks to the city if we take on additional bonding at this time? And how does this decision affect our credit rating and future borrowing capacity?
So, I can answer that question multifold. Let me start with the credit rating.
Okay.
So the city's credit rating right now, you guys have what we call an underlying credit rating of BBB+. That is the city's standalone rating. So the city issues bonds through something called the Municipal Qualified Bond Act, which is a state program that was created in the 70s to assist municipalities with lower credit ratings. And so what that does is a part of the city's state aid is sent over to a bank to pay your bondholders before you get it. And the benefit of that is you get the benefit of the state's credit rating. So when you sell your bonds, you sell this, well, a not below state's credit rating, you sell the state's credit rating, which gives you a lower interest rate. The problem is, in the 70s, state's credit rating was like AAA. Now the state's rating is like AA. So the rating for the state qualified bond is just an A. It's better than your rating, but it's not what it used to be back when the law was passed. Then your bonds will further, the underwriter who purchased your bonds purchased insurance for your bonds. And why they do that? Because if there's bond insurance, they can then market the bonds at an even better credit rating. And so a firm called BAM, Build America Mutual Insurance, provided insurance for your bonds, and that provided your bonds with a AA rating from Standard & Poor's. And so you got your underlying rating, you got the A rating, and the insurance was nothing you guys procured. That's what the underwriter chose to do. It came out of their pocket. You didn't pay for that insurance. It came out of their fee, and that's what they utilized to help sell the bonds. Your other question was, I'll start with the rating. You said the risk. Explain the question. I want to make sure I answer it properly. The risk of, in what way?
Well, what is the biggest risk to the city in doing multiple bonds over and over and over again?
So, I mean, I don't know if I say, anytime you have an expense, whether it be bonds, whether it be, hiring more people, there's a risk to the city, and that there's a budget impact, right? And so it's up to, the administration away the benefits were versus, I wouldn't even call it necessarily a risk, because your debt's always going to get paid. Your principal and interest are on your budget required by state law, and so your budgets are approved by the state. So the risk of you guys defaulting on your debt is pretty much zero. I don't think any municipality in the state has defaulted on debt in 100 years, because it's required to be part of your budget. But obviously, you gotta, if you're gonna have more debt, you're gonna have less money to pay for other things in the city, right? And so, but maybe you gotta fix roads. You might need to update your police equipment. You might need to update, City Hall. And so there's a balancing act that the administration has to do and the councils to do, and decide what priorities make the most sense for the city. It doesn't really make sense for you guys to spend large quantities of money out of your pocket up front. So borrowing money is not a bad thing, in my opinion, for the city. You have to do it. It's kind of like most people can afford to buy houses on their own. They borrow money and they pay it off over a 30-year period, and you hope that your house appreciates in value. That becomes a good investment. Is there a risk you could lose your job and not pay money? Yes, but usually the benefit of owning a house outweighs that particular risk. Now, if you got a second or third house, it's different, right? So there's always risk involved. So it's kind of hard for me to answer that question in a way that you may want me to answer, because I think it depends upon the whole pie. I don't see the whole pie of what the city has going on, but you guys do. You look at your budget, and you look at you're also getting phone calls from constituents saying, hey, can you put a stoplight here? Hey, there's students, well, we need a stop sign there. We need speed bumps. We had a busted water main around the corner, and our infrastructure is over 100 years old. We have lead service lines, and so all those things are things that are probably somewhat high priority, some higher than others, like lead service lines, that require the city to spend money. And if you spent it all in 1 year's budget, you would have to raise taxes in an amount that was not feasible for the residents to afford, and so you kind of borrow money to pay over time, because you have to get these things done, but you can't afford to get it done in 1 year's budget, and you prioritize what gets done this year, what gets done next year. Using your budget, you have a capital plan. Your capital plan will outline kind of the priorities for the next 6 years or so, what you guys plan on doing. Doesn't mean you have to abide by that. Every year you have to look at that capital plan and make an adjustment, but you have a plan in terms of what you want to do for the city and what makes sense. Was that there was another question you answered?
No, that was it. I
Okay.
have one more.
Sure.
Can you just walk us through how taking out bonds will impact the residents in the city of Orange over the long term, specifically in terms of debt service and potential effects on property taxes over the life of the bond?
So I just told, I mentioned earlier, Councilman Coley just asked me to iterate. The issuance of these bonds are going to cost the taxpayers $18 annually over the life of the bond. So that's what it's going to be. So $4.5 million worth of bonds will cost taxpayers the average, and that's an average. That's the average taxpayer, the average household. Obviously somebody has, maybe a more expensive house, they pay a little bit more. Somebody has a smaller house, they're paying less, but that's the average household. It's $18, and that's calculated by your financial advisors.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you very much for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Everett.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Legislation. The resolutions and ordinances to be presented at tonight's meeting are listed on the attached regular meeting agenda. If any council member wishes to discuss any resolution or ordinance, it may be discussed at this time.
Councilman Montague?
Yes, I want to direct this to B.A. Hartwick. Can you explain traffic directors? I just want you to,
So,
make it a little
no, the mics are on, but can you guys bring the mics a little closer to you? I'm getting messages that you can't be
Can you
heard.
hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you explain 167 and 169?
Sure. Both of those are amendments to existing contracts to increase the amount for the cost of traffic directors. We borrow money through the DOT Road Trust Fund, and under that program, they do not pay for police officers to do traffic control. So, because we have a very busy city, we need some form of traffic control. We don't want to pay for 3 police officers because it gets very expensive. And traffic directors are reimbursable under the grant. So we're seeking to amend the contracts to include traffic directors so that we can charge that against the grant, maintain public safety during the course of the construction road project, and cut down on the number of police that would be necessary at the site.
And is that part of the, I think there was some kind of security that they did outside of their duty?
Yeah, that's called
I forgot the name of that.
Off-duty police officer.
off-duty police, right?
Yeah,
Yes, so when it's a road job for the city, that off-duty police gets charged to the city's budget. So by reducing the number of police officers that are necessary on a site, we reduce the amount of money that the city has to pay because traffic directors are much less expensive than police officers.
thank you very
Councilman
much.
Montague, can I just ask the question while you're on
Councilwoman Easton.
So, traffic, wait, so director is a person,
Correct.
Yes,
not a, and the other thing I wanted to say is that, so when you say reduce, so if the city has to pay for it, but the other side jobs are paid for by the person that hired them, like public service, but if we have
Correct.
like a emergency main break or some disaster, and we have to employ police, that's what it's covering, right? And how much was the grant?
I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah. Now, do you know how much the grant?
Yes, I'll give it to you 1 minute. This grant was for $701,076.
And where would you get those traffic directors from? You would have a pool,
You hire them from a company.
so you would, it'd be an outside vendor supplying them,
Correct.
just like when you do the contract with a side job.
Correct.
Okay.
Council President, can I just ask a question regarding that grant?
Councilman Ross.
Now, how much money is left on that grant?
$16,521.
One more time, I'm sorry.
Sure. $16,521.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else?
well, I was gonna ask about, the diesel that's in Brook Alley. Now, that can accommodate the fire trucks?
Yeah, we had diesel that the fire trucks have been using. We ran out, so we've ordered, this is to order more.
Thank you.
Is that it?
Yeah, Council President,
Councilman Easton?
can you explain 159, 2026? What is that?
So Integra Realty Resources Northern is the company that we use for fiscal impact statements for all development projects. We also use them to appraise property in connection with either the purchase of property, the sale of property, or the property that's necessary for redevelopment. Oh, and also for tax assessment purposes.
Councilwoman Easton, I just want to ask one question about what you were talking about. When did we start using this?
Oh, we've used this for years.
Really?
This was actually before I got here, we've been using this. And that's 10 years.
Council President?
Councilman Coley?
Yeah, Mr. BA, 158, 2026, what is the amount that we're paying? Is it, I couldn't figure it out. I know you have something highlighted on the back, but,
Yeah.
you have interest only, and then you have principal balance.
So the refund would be the 4775.68 plus the 3888.
Okay. And that 303-09, I mean, .09, principal,
That would leave a principal balance of 30309, which would be
Okay.
paid by the taxpayer.
all right, thank you.
So,
Well, Councilman Montague, were you finished?
Yes.
Oh, you were?
so,
Are you going next?
I wasn't finished.
I thought you just had a question.
No. And,
Councilman, Coley, can I just, the one that you was just on, 158?
yes,
Shouldn't that amount, and I didn't hear the amount, the refund amount, shouldn't it be listed on the, title, what the amount is? Or in the, body of the resolution, because it's not there?
We don't usually do it that way, but if you'd like it done that way, we can. It's a refund, so it's not money that we were ever entitled to.
okay.
Councilman Coley?
Yeah, 160, 2026. What's the problem here?
So, we had a contract that was approved by the council that said that the accurate language services would be for City Hall, police, and the courts.
Mhm.
When we had the court audit last year, the Vicinage, which is in charge of the municipal courts, told us that we had to have a separate contract just for the courts.
Okay.
And that's what this does.
Huh.
Anyone else?
Go ahead.
Oh, I had one other one, that was 181. 181, 2026?
Councilwoman Easton, we can't hear. Could you come closer to the mic?
181, 2026?
Yes.
Is that for the parking garage?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is that gonna be under the parking utility?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm finished, Councilman Ross.
You good?
Council President,
Councilman Ross?
Chris, 162, 2026, just for clarity, I see that this, resolution is for, storage of, cold food. I just need to know, how much do we pay for our food bank over the year? And what food goes into this, storage? We don't pay anything?
We don't pay anything for the food, it's all donated.
Okay,
And the storage is just food that has to be kept cold from the time that it's donated to the time that it's distributed. And we have no other refrigeration system to do that with.
okay. 164, this is for, Colgate Park improvements. And I read through this, and I think this is for the installation of a new kid-sized soccer field with artificial turf and so forth, so on. When will this be completed?
I'd have to get back to you. I don't want to give you the wrong date.
Okay, I won't hold it against you.
Yeah.
178. What is 178? Is this, Historic Preservation Commission still in force? I thought it's been disbanded.
Well, it hasn't, hasn't been disbanded. There are questions regarding what they can do and what they can't do.
Okay. Do you know when they had their last meeting?
I do not.
So this is still happening, though, right?
Well, this resolution didn't come out of my office.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Council President?
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes, I also had a question in regards to Resolution 178 for the Historic Preservation Commission. So is it saying that they are still active, but they're seeking, what exactly are they seeking? What solution are they seeking with the,
This is just their regular annual council appointment.
okay,
So it's the attorney that sits at the meetings, does whatever paperwork needs to be done from a legal perspective.
okay. And the issue, I do believe the issue with them was that they didn't notify the community.
Correct.
Is there any negotiations happening between the administration and the Preservation Commission on working together to get that information out?
Not that I'm involved in. There were previously negotiations and discussions that weren't resolved.
Okay, and just, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you're gonna have the answer or not, but I'm just gonna tickle your brain for a second. Do you have like a rough estimate on how much that would cost if we were to assist them with that?
So my recollection is that the notices have to go out certified mail to all affected property owners. And given the fact that a large swath of the community was determined to be in a historic district, almost the entire town would need to get a certified mailing. So whatever the cost is for a certified mailing, a regular mailing costs me about $5,000. A certified mailing is going to be considerably more than that.
Okay, thank you.
Council President,
Councilwoman East.
along with that.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
So you're talking about a historic commission, you said it did not come out of your, so who oversees that? I mean, who appoints the members and who oversees that organization?
So technically, under the code, the Historic Preservation Commission, like the Board of Adjustment, comes under administration. But the day-to-day operations are delegated to the secretary to the board of the Historic Preservation Commission. And all we do is facilitate their meetings, make sure they have a place to meet, process their purchase orders, et cetera.
So the resolution is here. If it didn't come through the business administrator, where did it come from?
I believe it
This is
came,
money that's gonna be in our budget, right?
yes. I believe it came from the clerk's office, but I don't know that for a fact.
So do they put together a budget every year, just like,
It's been the same for all of the boards.
I mean, but they do submit a budget to be included in the overall budget?
All of the boards, attorneys' fees are $5,000 except for the planning board attorney, which is $7,500. That's their yearly attorney fees.
Council President, can I continue?
Councilwoman Hilbert, yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Another resolution that I was interested in was 189-2026 in regards to the shared service agreement with City of East Orange.
Yes.
So how does this affect us, or let me say, how does it benefit the City of Orange to do the shared services, and what kind of duties, daily duties would be on a full-time health officer between here and there?
So they have a different structure than we have. They have a health director. So a lot of the day-to-day administrative work that's done here by the health officer, there is done by the health director. So the primary responsibilities for the health officer that's being shared would be inspections
Okay.
and writing violations and attending meetings if requested. What we get out of it is we get a share of the charge that we charged East Orange to use our health officer. The city gets a share and the health officer gets a share.
Okay. All right, so this is not saying we're retiring our health officer? It's
No.
just saying,
Absolutely not.
okay. I was just making sure. All right. Thank you for that. Council President, I'm done.
Thank you.
Um,
Anyone
Coun-
else?
yeah.
Councilwoman Easton?
I wanted to, this is for, it says full-time for the city of East Orange.
Yeah, it's
Shouldn't that say part-time?
it's
He can't be full-time in Orange and East Orange.
correct.
Right.
So
It's
Shouldn't that
not
heading be
written correctly.
changed?
It should be part-time.
it should just say part-time, right?
Correct.
So we're gonna make that correction before we file it into law?
Anyone else?
Yes, Council President.
Councilman Ross?
Just to follow up on this same resolution, on page 2, item number 3, it says salary and expense reimbursements. Now, where's this $85,000 coming from?
It comes from the city of Orange.
Okay, but it says it comes from the city of East Orange, you said?
City of East Orange.
Okay, that's reimbursing the city of Orange and the health officer, correct?
Correct.
Okay, but it says $7,500 per month.
Correct.
Okay, if you do $7,500 per month times 12, that's $90,000.
Correct. But we don't have a full year of service.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else? So I want to ask about 166 and 165. So this is the contract regarding Centos.
Yes.
So for 165, I think there was a prior contract that I guess we approved on January 20th, possibly. But we didn't approve the amount for Centos. So, like, what's the difference in the contract between 144-2026 and 165-2026? And then my other concern is the contract runs, it was commencing on January 1, 2026 to December 31st, 2026, and it's March. So was there a problem with the contract?
I think there was some disputes going back and forth regarding payment and what was included on an old contract and what wasn't before we got to the new contract.
The difference, if I may, Council President, the difference is one contract is for fire alarm monitoring. So they were in City Hall last week going through all of the fire alarms, making sure that they're working, they're up to code, and that they're responsive. There was actually a test too. Some people ran outside. The other contract is for janitorial supplies, toilet paper, soap, things that are used to clean City Hall and all of the public facilities throughout the building. I asked the same questions.
So Omnia is for the
Omnia,
toilet tissue.
Omnia is the co-op. So that's the organization that procured and went out to bid for that contract, and we're
Okay.
a part of the Omnia co-op. So we're able to purchase these services through the Omnia co-op with Centos.
Okay. So we had to approve that we were in the
Omnia Partners co-op.
co-op, and then we go back and then we approve the contract from the okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
Okay, all right. So the January 2026 to now, to March, so it was discrepancies with what was paid and whatever. So I guess we straighten all that out.
I believe so.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Council President, I just have one more, if you don't mind.
Councilman Ross.
184 and 185. These are pretty much the same. I don't see why we need two resolutions. Why couldn't it been just one? One is for engineering services and one for engineering inspection. The same engineering firm, Petrie Engineering LLC, and isn't part of services, and part of services would include an inspection, wouldn't it?
So 184 is related to work that's being done as a result of the Ida storm and will be part of an application for FEMA reimbursement. 185 is the annual inspection report that's required by the Dam Division of the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. So they are separate projects.
Thank you.
Council President,
Councilwoman Hilbert.
I have another one. Going back to 181-2026 with the IPS group. For this parking permit management system, who will have access to it?
Just the parking utility.
So not the police, no one, just?
No.
Okay. And this is only for the buildings, or is this going to be able
It's
to
for
be
the Crane
extended?
Street Garage and the Leah Garage.
Leah Garage?
And it's also, I'm sorry, it's for street parking permits, not the garage permits. It's a permit management system for street permits. The parking garage permits are gonna be managed by a separate software system, which will be coming to the board probably, the council probably in April.
Okay, so there's no way to like integrate them?
They can't be integrated because of the access controls at the garages.
So I'm thinking budget-wise, if we were able to just use one system for both, we wouldn't be able to. We have to pay for two separate systems. And then only the parking utility will have access to it, not the police. or
Correct.
anyone. Okay, thanks.
Anybody else? I have one last question. Where, when the parking utility starts, where are they gonna be housed? Where's their office gonna be?
Oh, that's true.
We've identified a space on the first floor. It's an old part of the health department that has access to the main hallway.
To the right.
Oh, okay. Baby room?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Is that City Hall, he said?
Yes,
First floor here?
Baby
Okay.
room.
Has that area been remediated?
it was remediated.
Oh,
It
wow,
wasn't
okay.
part of the original, of the area that needed all the work. It's separate. It's got a separate doorway into the baby clinic and a separate doorway onto the hallway.
Right.
So it wasn't contaminated the way the other portion of the building was. It's been being used for storage.
That's it.
Make a motion to close.
Second, Montague.
A motion to close was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, all those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned at 7:42 PM. This is a regular meeting of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township held at City Hall, 29 North Day Street, Orange, New Jersey, on Tuesday, March 17th, 2026, following the conference meeting. We are going to skip the Pledge of Allegiance on this agenda and move right to our roll call. Councilman Coley,
Present.
Councilwoman Eason,
Here.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Present.
Councilman Montague III,
President.
Councilman Ross,
Here.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Here.
Council President Wooten.
Here.
Also Presidents Tricia Scipio, Chris Hartwig, Derek Brown, Fire Chief, Niall Clements, CFO, Gracia Armantellis, City Attorney, and Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9, EDSA Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on Thursday, July 10th, 2025, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. Approval of meeting minutes. March 3rd, 2026, conference and regular meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion by Councilwoman Eason, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. All, on the motion. All those in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion adopted. Department Monthly Revenue Collections. Clerk's Office, for the month of February 2026, the Clerk's Office collected $318.16. Parking meters, $1,235.27. The Planning Department, $221,928. Tax Assessor, $30. Public Works, $706,509. OPA reports. For the month of February 2026, thus far, there's 100 received, 36 completed, and 64 outstanding. There were no communications and petitions. Citizens' comments on general issues agenda items. Members of the public wishing to address the council may do so during this portion of the meeting. Speakers must sign their name on the comment sign-up sheet and approach the microphone when called upon. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker is permitted 1 3-minute period to interact with the council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to beginning any remarks. Visual aids are not permitted. Speakers are reminded to be courteous and mindful of other individuals. Each person has the right to speak on any subject but is responsible for abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by the public and maintains discretion to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and will respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not be during this meeting.
Alicia Rodriguez.
I can't see the timer. Trisha. Sorry, your white papers in the front that you have up is covering. half the
I'm
timer.
sorry, can you speak in the mic?
She can't see the
Those
timer.
papers that you have.
Okay,
hanging-
give me 1 second. I was
Yeah.
still just trying to get it set up.
Thank you. Alicia, 47 Mountain View. If I understood correctly, the net debt is paid with water and sewer fees. What is the amount used quarterly towards these payments from those fees? The rest of the things are on the agenda, and I'm hoping to get some answers since you guys are all gonna be voting on it. Ordinance 72. This is proposing to eliminate parking to turn into loading zones or something of that sort. How many proposed parking spots are gonna be lost as a result? Ordinance 189, we are looking to share our health services with East Orange, and they're gonna be paying us $85K. My question is that on top of their salary that we already pay them, or does it help subsidize what we pay them? Or is it in addition to? And if it's in addition to, will it be working East Orange during orange work hours? East Orange is a much larger city, wouldn't that be double the work? If he has the time, then maybe he should be made part-time and adjust the salary according for Orange and get paid from the other half in East Orange. Maybe you can clarify that for me. Ordinance 188, hiring another law firm to help with tax appeal. What is the point of our tax assessor? What is the responsibility of the tax assessor in terms of appeals? Ordinance 179, why are we agreeing to pay the same company more money when we already have a miscommunications with notifications and things like that? I don't really know what this media marketing is for. Maybe you guys can clarify that. Ordinance 159. Did we hire these same professionals when the last time when we were actually planning the redevelopment plan? And Ordinance 161. Is a grant awarded that is supposed to help with health infrastructure? What have these funds been used for recently, and what will they be used for now? Not in our ordinance, but as far as I'm concerned, we have 2 lawyers that we are paying to work for us, apart from all the lawyers you guys are always hiring for different things. These 2 lawyers, what is the scope of their responsibilities, and are they part-time or full-time employees of New Jersey? Me, Montillis, and the other guy, Maserati, don't know how to pronounce his name. Maserati, thank you. Let's see, I have more time than I thought.
I said it wrong, Ms. Rahi.
Ms. Rahi.
Ms. Rahi.
And then he said that there was an $18 per household annually, and it could be more depending on the tax. That's only for, that payment is only based off what, the notes or the bills and the bonds? Because I was a little bit confused when he was up here explaining that. I think that's it for questions.
Council President,
Council.
you asked quite a few questions, but the ones that pertain to Everett, your first question, you mentioned that can you repeat that first question?
In regards to,
Your first question.
the net, if I understood correctly, net debt is paid with water and sewer fees. What is the amount used quarterly towards those payments with those fees?
Okay, so the net debt is the total debt for the city. The water and sewer, as he said, are self-liquidating, so that's not included in the net debt. So that those two don't correlate.
Well, I don't know. He just said that we use those fees to pay for a bond or one of them.
That's not what he said.
That's what I understood. So can you explain it?
I'm trying
Oh,
to.
yeah.
but-
Something that's what I understood from what he was saying.
Okay. Maybe we could talk afterwards, but I don't understand your question. But the water sewer fees that we collect do not go towards the net debt because it's self-liquidating. So the net debt doesn't have the water and sewer included in it.
So water
It's
and sewer
separate.
has nothing to do with bonds.
They have bonds, but they weren't included in the bond sale. No water or sewer ordinances were included in the bond sale, just general capital. And what was your last question? I think that pertained to bonds as well.
No, I don't remember. I didn't write that one down. But I had other questions about things on the agenda. The lawyers, anybody? Do we know if they're full-time or not?
The lawyers are full-time. With respect to Resolution 179, they manage the website for the city council. With respect to Resolution 159, they don't do anything with respect to the master plan. And as I said before, they've been around since before I was here. I'll be here 10 years in August. And the work they do is completely different from master plan review. Ordinance 189, the typical shared service agreement provides for an additional compensation for the person who's performing the shared service. In that resolution, the city gets a portion of the payment from East Orange, and a portion of the payment is paid to the health officer for his services. And it will probably mean that he's working more than the 8 hours a day that he's working while he's here. He'll have to go there probably after work and in the evenings. With respect to Ordinance 72, there's 2 parking spaces that would be lost as a result of the loading zones that are proposed. And currently, there's nothing marked there at all, if you've driven by.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Gloria Bozeman.
Good evening. Gloria Bozeman, 345 Alcott Street. First off, I want to thank the Girl Scouts for their very excited pledge allegiance to the flag. We don't get that often, and so I think they need to be recognized as well. But I have some questions. Well, I wasn't going to talk tonight, but I felt like I had to come because of the misrepresentation that was concluded at the last meeting when Councilman Ross asked about me saying that the questions that I posed are not answered, and the response was that most of my questions had already been answered. And since then, I've communicated back to you that the last time I heard from this office with regard to responding to my questions was in January of 2025. And I followed that up with a response because there needed to be some clarity, and I haven't heard from those since. Nevertheless, I do want to say that I think that that's a misrepresentation to say that questions are answered, because I've been asking the same questions since that time. I need to know the impact of the developments that are really flourishing in our city. We have more than I could possibly imagine could fit in the spaces that exist right now, and the infrastructure now is horrible. I can't imagine what it's going to be like with the addition of citizens who will have a right to use all of these services that right now aren't really supplying us in the same way that I wish that they would. I also ask about, I want to ask about 172, 171, and 173, all of which are related to snow removal. And I'm wondering, is that because we didn't have the capacity in our division to handle that? Because it's in excess of $100,000. And I just want to know why we did not anticipate, or why there's not monies there, since we haven't had those types of snowstorms in the last few winters, at least that I can remember. I want to know, with regard to the new developments, about those trust funds that have been established, because the developers have left, I don't want to say left, but have deposited monies for use in terms of the quality of our experiences here in Orange, and I don't know where they are. I don't know how much they add up to, and I don't know who's going to make the decisions about how they're going to be used, but I hope that the residents will have an opportunity to participate in making decisions about how that money will be used. I also want to say that for the last 3 to 5 years that I can pull up, I haven't been able to find resolutions, and perhaps you can help me, haven't been able to find resolutions that are directed towards either maintaining our taxes or decreasing our taxes. And so that may just be my inability to interpret it, so I hope that you will help me with that in saying these are the resolutions that speak to how our taxes are not only being utilized but will be maintained. And with regard to the sharing of services, I'm going to have opportunity to speak to a former director down at East Orange with regard to the health officer's role, because I believe what you say. I'm just saying I don't see how that can be accomplished when you say that's going to be an evening and after work activity or after working here activity. Not if you're the health officer looking at what you described that health officer would be looking at, and that's restaurants, things serving individuals in the community with regard to their health and responsibilities. I'm down to my 5 seconds, but in my 5 seconds, I want to say this library thing. I think there's another library grant that I am not seeing circulated in terms of the experiences that we can have as community members. So I'm going to write those all up, send them back, and make certain that they become a part of the record.
Thank you.
So with respect to the 3 resolutions dealing with emergency snow removal contracts, yes, the city does have a snow removal trust. Given the nature of the storms, the trust was exhausted. Given the nature of the storms, additional manpower was needed to clear streets and clear snow. And that's what those resolutions are for.
They were in excess of $100,000.
That's correct.
If I may, all 3 of these resolutions were paid from the snow removal trust. So these weren't paid out of the operating budget. These were paid from the snow removal trust. So every year we budget a certain amount for salaries and wages and other expenses for snow removal. And when all of the money that's allocated isn't spent, we lapse it to the trust. So this reserve was built up from prior years where we didn't spend the money for the storm. And that's why everything was able to be allocated at the trust versus the budget for these most recent resolutions.
Thank you for that response. That was my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Clements. Anna Mitchell.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's Miss Mitchell. I live on Leslie Place. And I'm very concerned. We saw, all my neighbors and myself, we received a letter.
Speaking
Ms.
to the mic,
Mitchell,
ma'am.
would you pull the mic towards you, son? Thank
We
you.
received a letter from a developmental company, Richard Developmental Company, indicating that they had to notify everyone 200 feet in the area. They plan on building a development, a 43 story, 5-story, 43 housing of development on our block. And it's impossible that they want to build it on Lindsley Place, a dead-end street. I need to know, how's that gonna, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? What about the zoning, the parking, the transportation? How are they gonna help the neighbors on the block when they do the construction, if it passes through? Because you guys will be the one that will authorize it, okay, to be built. And Ms. Johnson here, you've been helping us with that. I appreciate that, but still, it's.
Council,
BA, you gonna answer?
Big.
Okay. Is
Big.
that your
Hard
only
white.
question, ma'am?
I got a lot, it's so
Okay.
much going
Go
on.
ahead.
So This body doesn't deal with that application. That application's dealt with by the planning board. The 200-foot notice is required by the statute that governs the planning board's operations, and the developer has to send it to anybody within 200 feet of the development. The opportunity to speak and to address the questions that you just pointed out, traffic, impacts to the neighborhood, et cetera, is at the planning board, and that notice should indicate when the hearing is.
It was adjourned to April 22nd.
Okay.
At the last meeting, it was adjourned, but I'm about to give you.
22nd?
April 22nd.
Here?
It's online. So I'm gonna give you the.
It's on Zoom.
It's on Zoom. But that's not us, that's planning.
That's the plan.
Mhm.
Well, they will be, will they be the ones who will, okay it
Yes.
Yes. Or deny it.
or deny it? So you guys have nothing to do with that?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchell. Gloria Anderson.
Gloria Anderson, 300 Oakwood Avenue. This is in regards to Resolution 182, 2026.
Speak into the mic, please.
This is in regards to Resolution 182, 2026, in regards to authorizing the submission of applications for various fiscal year 25 federal grant through the Bureau of the Justice Department. From what I read that I have on my phone, the question that I have is the resolution, how is this going to affect seniors and youth? When I read the 4 paragraphs, I didn't see anything about seniors or the youth people, the young people. And they should be involved, being that, and I have to say this, what I'm looking at, like I said, I just started really being here out of 6 years because I traveled a lot. My question was, well, what about the seniors and what about the youth? And we're getting old. I'm 70. So once we die out, and if you don't do anything to keep the young people here and have the seniors teach the young people to stay here, they're going to leave. And we are already in the position of degentrification. I'm just saying. So if you don't do anything with your grants to keep these young people interested and keep them in Orange, y'all gonna really have a problem. Because if they coming from New York, they don't play. They don't play at all. And I hear everything that's going on. I did my own little private, research and everything. You do some things for the youth. You do a little things for the seniors. But you need to be conscious of the seniors that been here most of their lives. Been married, had kids, grandkids. You need after-school programs. You need summer programs, more than one. And that's basically, when you do your grants, make sure that you include the seniors as well as the young people, because it's the young people that's coming up. And if they don't like what they see, they're gonna leave. And you're gonna have a big mess on your hand with how other people think. Also, I was riding up and down the street going from ShopRite, I went shopping. I seen this fine young man on a campaign poster. Mr. Coley, I approached you about that. No, because it's misrepresentation. I'm not just trying to disrespect him or anything, but the reality part that I'm saying is because people that are moving and have moved into the city that never seen him, the poster is fine young man. I'm just saying, you need to change that picture.
Thank you, Ms. Anderson. Pam Hallman. She had to give an address. Ms. Hallman, I need your address, your street
Yes.
address.
Pamela Holman, 58 Oak Ridge Road, West Orange, New Jersey.
What did she say?
I don't know, I couldn't.
Say that again, ma'am.
58 Oak Ridge Road, West Orange, New Jersey.
Thank you.
So, I'm here on behalf of the Girl Scouts. I am the service unit manager for the Girl Scout Council of Greater Essex and Hudson County, in charge of the Orange and the East Orange Service Unit. And on behalf of our local Girl Scout troops, I would like to extend a sincere thank you for today's event, hosting the Girl Scout Day at City Hall. It was an incredible opportunity for the Girl Scouts to see local government in action. They got to visit offices and visit with council members. And these experiences are essential for building the next generation of leaders as they help our troops and our Girl Scouts understand the importance of what it is that you do. And I want to thank you and your staff and everyone at City Hall for the effort that it took to make these girls feel welcome. They left feeling inspired and informed about the city of Orange and how it works. And I just want to thank you for the continued support of the youth in our community.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you so much.
Can I get a motion to close citizens' comments?
I make a motion to close citizens' comments. Summers Johnson.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Easton. On the motion? All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Citizens' comments are closed. Council comments?
Councilman Coley.
Yeah, Mr. BA, I mentioned this a while ago, a snow removal plan, creating some type of, I guess, fund like we have for the open space. I don't know if you have taken a look at doing that yet.
We're still looking at it.
Okay. And with the snow now has dissipated, has Public Works kind of transitioned into pothole repair?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and do we have a list of the streets that is going to be repaved this year?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And I really don't say things when people offend me, but that is my political photo, that I took, and I use, and I will continue to use it. I'm sure, under the sound of my voice, I'm sure that is someone that is in here right now that has some kind of reconstructive surgery, changing how they look. I'm sure someone in here right now have makeup on. I'm sure someone here right now have some kind of wig or weave on. I'm sure of it.
We call them hats.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. But it's my photo, is my plan, is my literature that I have been working with and using for years, and I'm not going to change because someone who just moved to Orange, is now, upset, about how a photo looks. Let's just move on.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Councilman Coley, if I may interrupt. Members of the audience, we're going to keep quiet, please, while council's speaking. That's everyone. Go ahead, Councilman Coley.
No, that's it. That's it. That's it. People just need to, look at themselves before they start talking about others. I don't think no one here is perfect.
Councilwoman, you good? Councilwoman Easton?
Okay. I have a couple of things. If you guys noticed on your desk is a flyer called Radium Girls. I'm asking each council member if you plan to attend the historic celebration on March the 25th at 10 a.m. Please RSVP. They've been waiting on your responses for a long time because I think all of you got invitations. So on that day, we will be doing the Radium Girls Memorial, which will honor the women who unknowingly sacrificed their lives while working with radium, paving the way for workplace safety standards that protect millions of people today. This memorial will stand in College Park, Orange, a site with deep historic significance, and will feature an interactive pathway with QR codes linking visitors to stories of these brave women. So we're going to put in 5 stones in certain areas of the park. It's going to be a big day, a big celebration. They have one of the relatives of the 5 women coming that's still alive. 2 of them are buried in Rosedale Cemetery. So please come out and celebrate with the North Ward for their historic site, which is College Park. So I look forward to seeing all of you to respond tomorrow, and the answer should be yes. I know Councilwoman Summers gets a pass because she teaches, yes. So yeah, so she gets a pass. That's why. And also on, starting, I think it's the 22nd of March, St. Matthew's AME Church at 336 Oakwood Avenue will be hosting the International Annual AME Conference. We will have people coming from all over. We're expecting over 3,000 people, not at one time, during the whole conference. So I'm just asking the residents in that area to be patient with us. It's going to be a lot of moving parts, a lot of traffic, hopefully no congestion. We will have security, police officers, sheriff's officers monitoring the situation. But I want to say if any resident has an issue or any concerns, look up my number online and call me, and I will represent those complaints. My pastor's going to be very busy at that time, so I don't want the complaints or the concerns to be unanswered or unaddressed. So you can look up Councilwoman Easton online and get my number, 973-951-7439. If you have any concerns, if you live in the vicinity of 336 Oakwood Avenue and you have a concern, please don't hesitate to call me. And I want to say I applaud the Girl Scouts for coming out tonight. Scouting is a big program for young people. I was a Scout commissioner for boys because I had boys for many years. And I still have my uniform hanging up in my closet. So, and I probably can still get in it, but I would
Come on now, come on now.
Go ahead, girl.
Come on now.
Next meeting, you gotta be.
Come on.
But I enjoyed the program with the young men and the youngsters, so I was their commissioner. And I'm sorry to see that the boys are not that active in this area anymore, especially Troop 49, which was housed at St. Matthew's AME Church. But hopefully, our young men will get involved again and revive that troop and get our young boys interested in some programs that will benefit them throughout life. So, and thank you all for listening. Thank you. That's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone, to my council colleagues and our guests and the administration. I am overwhelmed with excitement today for the successful event that we had for Girl Scouts Day at City Hall. I want to give a sincere message of appreciation to our business administrator, Chris Hartwig, who gave the tour and the speech to the young ladies, and he had their attention too. I'm gonna have to sign you up for some of our meetings because I feel like they listen to you more than they listen to me. But he did an amazing job giving them a tour of City Hall. The mayor also did an amazing job, phenomenal job speaking to the ladies, and they swindled him out of his last dollar to buy a box of cookies. So, but in his defense, he went up against one of our heavyweight sellers. She actually sold $1,000 worth of Girl Scout cookies in 2 months. So that is what we do. We build up young women with confidence, integrity, and a skill set and a mindset to go out and accomplish whatever they set their mind to. And we teach these young people about goal setting. And tonight was also teaching them about civic duty and introducing them to other leaders in our community. And I also want to thank our council president, Boo, and she was there as well to help the ladies throughout the evening. And we also had a special visitor. We had Assemblywoman Carmen Morales, who gave a wonderful, wonderful crash course into local government, county government, state government, and federal government. And she did a beautiful rundown. And the girls were very attentive, and they learned a lot tonight. So thank you to all who participated. Thank you all who give back to our young people. And if anyone is interested in getting more involved, please let us know. There's many ways that the girls could work with you in the community. They're working on career exploration. They're working on service projects. And they love being out in the community. Just to kind of move a little forward with this, the Girl Scouts also participated in the St. Patrick's Day Parade this past weekend over in West Orange. We were very excited to see Orange PD and Orange Fire Department there as well. So it was beautiful to see all of our departments representing in a great way and celebrating heritage for the Irish descendants here in America. Also, let me get my notes together. I also want to say happy early Easter. We won't be back into these chambers until after Easter. So I do know the administration is going to have their annual Easter egg hunt on April 2nd over at the Central Avenue Playground. So you'll catch me there assisting. And then also, there was a meeting for the West Ward scheduled for the 18th. So it's actually been postponed. But in its place, I would recommend you, if you are a parent here in the district, the school district is having a very important parents cafe night to talk about parenting during difficult times. So I would recommend, get involved in what they have to offer. It's an amazing support system, and when the school district is doing something, you really got to take advantage. You never know what you're going to learn. So the parent cafe is going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and you can find more information on their website. I will be postponing the West Ward meeting possibly till the end of the month, but when that is ready, I will distribute the flyers and send out a robocall to let you all know. The other message that I have for you all. No, I don't have a message. I actually had a question, if I have enough time. Oh, I'm not being timed. Okay. So, Council President, through you to the business administrator, I wanted to ask 2 questions in regards to the development of the old police station and what happened in regards to the request we made of them to present a plan for their redevelopment. Can you recall?
The request to the developer?
Right, so we put out something.
You mean the request to the administration about updating the council? So the responses were completed and are in the law department being reviewed so that they can be communicated to the council.
Okay, so
all the documents have been reviewed. All of the documents have been reviewed, and The memorandum is with the city attorney. I believe he told me today that he'll have it finished by Friday.
Correct.
By Friday? Okay. So we can anticipate to see it prior to the meeting,
Next week.
next week? Okay. And then another question was in regards to all these resolutions that we see here for the snow removal. We did our snow dumping over at the parking lot for the old Memorial Hospital.
Correct.
So we know that that is going to be a part of the development for the memorial site.
Mm-hmm.
What is the plan to relocate for a snow dumping area?
We don't have any available property of the size that would be necessary or would have been necessary to accommodate these two storms.
So is this something we need to work out with Integra or maybe Nishwain to put that into our plan?
No, I think that we're looking at some options, including snow melting machines, that wouldn't require that kind of space. They would require some permitting from the DEP to discharge the melted snow into the sanitary sewer line.
Okay, so I did a little reading, but hopefully you know more about what I'm going to mention. But I think it said that FEMA actually gives you funding and reimbursement if you have a dumping site for snow. So is that accurate? Did we receive anything recently?
If there's a FEMA declaration
Okay.
of a disaster, then dumping sites are eligible for reimbursement. But
So
there
it
was
has to
no
be a
FEMA
disaster.
disaster declaration.
Right, it was only just a state
Just
of
a
emergency.
state of emergency for the state.
Okay, so if it was something similar to maybe like a, what was it, Sandy or Irene, and then we had to dump all the debris there, not
Yeah,
snow
even
necessarily.
Ida,
Or Ida, okay.
we had declarations, we were ordered to pick some, to do some repairs down at the dams.
Mhm.
And the carting away of that debris was reimbursable under our FEMA application.
Okay. And if we were to sign an approval to procure snow melting machines, would that also fall into like a general improvement bond?
Yes, it would.
Okay. Last question. Do you know the average price?
Cost?
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head. They're
Okay.
well over $200,000.
You do know.
Well over.
Okay. Well over 200K. Okay.
Depends upon the size.
Okay. All right. That concludes my comments. I thank you guys so much and have a blessed night.
Council President, can I just add to that real quick? I think I mentioned this to you, Mr. BA, as well, regarding the snow melt machine. I think, from what I see, that the ideal location would be that little strip of land, Webster Place, Freeway Drive, drive in, curb out, and just keep it moving. Perfect spot.
For dumping the snow?
Not dumping the snow, the snow melt machine set up right there.
Set up, okay.
All righty, Councilman Montague.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, definitely, the Girl Scouts, wonderful event tonight. I was a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout. Kerry, you might have remembered Troop 6. It was at the church on Main Street.
Holy Spirit Church.
Yes, I used to be there. So, great thing. I'm glad you're involved. You're doing a great thing.
Thank you for buying cookies.
Yes, I always do. Chris, B.A. Hartwick, today, first of all, I'm the liaison for baseball. They have the baseball commissioner. What are we gonna do about Metcalf? Are we gonna get those fields together?
We're working on it.
The season starts May 1st.
I know.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you know that. It's all right if I keep bugging you?
Yep.
Because you know I'm gonna keep bugging you.
That's how you get it.
Yes. And then, are we gonna be allowed to utilize Orange Park.
For baseball,
Yeah,
we'd have to check with the county.
no
But
one's never using it. Once in a while.
we have to go through the permitting process.
Right.
But I can reach out to them.
And also, I don't know if anybody really knows this, College Park has a baseball field. Y'all know that? Yes, it's a baseball field. Is there a way, I think Andrea told me we're gonna figure out the schedules
Right.
of the soccer and baseball. So I got that today. Now you know my regular questions. The rec center. You said we was gonna hear something about it today.
We're going to have a closed session on the rec center at the next meeting.
Closed session. Any movement with Orange Memorial?
There's a meeting scheduled for Monday at 10 a.m. between their team and our team.
Is this company really serious, or are they moving forward?
They're very serious.
Okay. And also, on May 2nd, 2026, at Hanover Manor, 16 Eagle Rock Avenue, East Hanover, my colleague and friend, Cliff Ross, is going to be receiving an award from the Orange Education Foundation. So I'm very proud of him. I think I have something, both of us work tirelessly in the community. So I feel like I got part of this trophy. But I will be there. We do a lot of work, so I'm proud of him. I'm gonna have it on my page. I think I'm gonna try to give it to Kim so he can put it on our page. If anybody wants to come, contact Clifford Ross. All right?
Selling tickets?
Oh, just to let you know, you contact him. I had it last year. I had to sell 10 tickets. So get him. I had to sell 10 tickets.
Well, he only need to sell 8. I bought 2. So
There you go. And we'll sit at this table. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman
Congratulations,
Ross.
Thank you,
Congratulations,
Council
Councilman
President.
Ross.
And thank you, Councilman Montague, but you got the trophy last year, so I don't
That's
have
all
to
right. You
share
had
mine
part of
with you.
mine. Now you
Okay.
got an old one.
But I want to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. And I want to thank the Girl Scouts for showing up today and showing out. They did a tremendous job. I hope they sold a lot of cookies tonight, so thank you, Councilwoman, for having them here today. I just want to follow up on a few things with the BA. Well, first, Council President. I asked you last meeting what happened to the answers for the questions from the town hall, and I saw you refer to him and say we was gonna have them the next day. I haven't seen them.
So I got the approval from the mayor today, as a matter of fact. I texted him today. I texted him last weekend. He said he was gonna look at them, and then I texted he and the business administrator again today, and he said, go ahead and send them out.
Okay,
So I
thank you.
sent them to Public Relations, and I sent them to Kim for them to be sent out. I think it's about 7 pages, B.A. Chris? It's
Wow.
about 7 pages.
Okay, thank you. To you, Mr. BA, following up on the signage that we discussed about on Scotland Road for the Leah Building.
So I've reviewed the planning board package, I reviewed the county planning board package, and I haven't sat down and reviewed the testimony, but I've told that there was testimony regarding the left-hand turns both in and out by the traffic engineer. The county looked at it and didn't raise any issues, and there was documentation sent to the county regarding the left-hand movements. So I don't know at this stage what else can be done It's a county road. We would have to somehow coordinate with the county to legislate the left-hand only, or prohibit the left-hand only movements. But you'd have to do a study to determine the impact that would have on the intersection of Maine and Scotland, because there's no real traffic flow if you're trying to go south and you make people go right out of that garage, then you're drawing them into Main Street and you're taking them out towards West Orange.
So if I'm clear in what you're saying, so you think, or the traffic study thinks it's great to make a left turn out of that garage on Scotland Road?
You didn't say, I didn't say you.
It's illegal.
I didn't say I.
Okay.
What I said is I reviewed the files for the planning board, both at the county and the municipal planning board.
Okay.
The issue was discussed, and there was no prohibition put into the approvals by either the county or the planning board for right-hand only turns. So if you want to legislate a right-hand only turn, you have to do so in conjunction with the county, and they're going to want to study. They're going to want to see if there have been any issues with the left-hand turn movements, and they're also going to want to see where that traffic's going to go if it's right-hand turn only.
So they're gonna want to see if there was any accidents.
Correct.
Okay.
How about heavy ticketing? You can't cross the double line, that's illegal.
I'm not following.
Isn't crossing a double line illegal?
Not if you're making a turn. And the turn's not prohibited.
Correct.
And can I add to that? So,
We're not laughing.
no, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell. She laughed, I laughed. It was just contagious. I'm sorry. Because I'm right here with you, Councilman Ross. I believe that everybody sitting up here wants to be proactive, right? We don't want to have to give them a police report showing casualties in order for it to change. So if there was a study, does that mean we have to go back and pay for another study? Or why?
Yeah, you'd have to do that with the county.
But what about the feasible study, the impact study that came with the project itself?
I just said, we reviewed it. It was seen by the planning board. It was seen by the county planning board. And they adopted the ability to make left-hand turn movements.
So is that something where it's not so much a council? Can we not kick that back to the planning board?
No, there's no jurisdiction left for the planning board. What?
That's it. No, I'm saying that's it. I don't have any more to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councilman Ross, would
yeah.
you like to have your comments?
Yeah,
now?
I'm gonna finish real quickly. I just want to thank DPW and the administration for launching a spring cleanup initiative, which will continue until the streets are fully cleaned from the winter months. And I passed out to all of you council members this afternoon. The Orange Public Library just received a $10,000 grant from the Carnegie Corporation of New York. I'm pretty excited about this. I haven't seen many grants coming to the library, so I hope this is the first of many more. And I also want to say that the library has some lighting that has been replaced or refurbished and is lit up at night. And I think the libraries are making progress, and I hope they keep doing what they're doing. I saw this, the Orange Board of Ed has taken over our basketball program. I see they're gonna be, it says the Orange Public School is excited to launch 3 new basketball program for students pre-K through the 12th grade, and this includes the basketball open gym, the 6 to 9 program, intramural basketball, and skills and drills. I know we used to do this, our recreation department.
So that's in conjunction with the contract that we did last summer for the summer programming.
Okay.
So that's what they're talking about.
Well, we always did the 6 to 9 program,
Yeah, we did.
so we're not doing it anymore.
Well, that depends.
On what?
That's something that they added that we didn't have in the original proposal.
Okay. I just want to make a couple announcements. For the summer, there's a summer youth employment program that is being started. It's for pool service workers, head lifeguards, and pool maintenance. You must be a resident of Orange, age 15 and up. Applications are available here at City Hall. You can reach out to April Cruz or call her at 973-952-6090. And this is also for the summer program in the parks for food service workers, pool aid, park aid. It's a 6-week program. The start date is July 1st, 2026, and you make $15.92 per hour. Anybody that's interested, please see April Cruz. And that's it, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Thank you. It's a great day in the city of Orange. And you might say, why? Because we woke up.
That's right.
And that's something that I think we're forgetting. When I say we, people forget. The city of Orange has lost, I stopped counting. I stopped counting. Within the last 2 weeks, we have lost ranges in age, we've lost so many people. So just taking it back to Old Orange, when we had pride in our city, and just trying to bring it back to that. As a 30-year veteran teacher, I am so glad that the Girl Scouts were gone when those comments were made. As a history teacher, I'm still trying to figure out if there's any other race that digs based on appearance. I just finished the Diary of Anne Frank with my 8th graders. And it helped me teach a lesson because 8th grade, they're into you're dark skinned, you're black, you're ugly, your hair is short, you're fat, like they're into image. And like I said, like the kids are watching. When you move to a city and you do research, you gotta do a little more. Because to even mention recreation to a council like this means you have done absolutely no history. I worked for the city of Orange from the age 14 until I became a council person, which was in, I was 40. Just making assumptions and not knowing what department handles what. Just ask. You know, a stupid question is one that is not asked. Just ask the question. Don't assume. Don't read on social media. Just ask questions to your council person. You don't have to wait till a council meeting. Let me say that again. Let me say that again. The city is broken up into 4 wards, north, south, east, and west. If those council people don't respond, then there's 3 at large. You do not have to wait for a council meeting to get an answer to a question. These are just misconceptions, and you can always tell when it's election time because it gets real crazy in this room. I chuckled when the comments were made because I was really embarrassed, you know, that we've come this far as a people, but yet we really didn't come far. I always laugh when residents say, I don't see you. Then you ask them, do you shop on Main Street? No. Do you eat at any of the restaurants? No. Do you get your nails done, hair done in Orange? No. So if you don't spend any money in Orange, you're not gonna, I run into Coley and Bella, we're probably gonna run into him tonight, eating our corned beef and hash, and these brothers are gonna be there as well. As council people, we're still human. We're not robots, you know, we got blood that runs through us like it runs through you. And you just gotta be mindful. I was taught, if you don't have anything nice to say, just stay quiet. And imagine if people did that, the world would probably be silent. Yeah, seriously, it's, you know, I was just taken back with that. The dumpster day for DPW, I love when that comes around, spring cleaning. It's at Brook Alley. It's gonna be on April 11th and April 25th from 9 to 1 p.m. Brook Alley Garage is located at 24 South Center Street. There's a Clean Communities going on April 18th. You mentioned the one, oh, you mentioned the Clean Communities, yes? Okay, so I'm gonna mention the other one, the one I get a lot of calls about. So now that the snow is gone, homeowners, listen to me clearly, listen. Code enforcement between March 9th and April 25th are giving warnings. I'm gonna say this again, I get a lot of calls because the snow is gone and now there's a lot of debris and garbage in front of your homes. We have to work together, we have to. You know, after the snow, the city gets real ugly. And this is the time that we have to work together. But between March 9th and April 25th, they're giving warnings. I've had residents call me on their neighbors. I'm telling you, they're getting upset. Their property values, they want to protect those, and they want to make sure that everyone is maintaining their property. So that's the part that comes with owning a home. You must maintain the outside of it. Last Saturday, I was able to attend a youth basketball game because I'm a boy mom. And I'm not going to say my son had 13 points. I'm not going to say Haywood and Forest, two South Ward schools, are undefeated. But I will say that the gym was standing room only, which dispels the myth that parents of color don't support their kids. It was so many fathers in there. I'm telling you, it just blew me. I love to see it. Fathers, grandfathers, all supporting the city of Orange. But you got to come outside to see it. Got to come outside to see it. It's standing room only. It's every Saturday. From, I guess they start about 10 o'clock and it goes till 3. Council President and myself, we went to a community baby shower hosted by Senator Timberlake. And I'm gonna tell you, I had my first at 37, second at 40. There was a lot of pregnant women in there. And we were able to raffle off some playpens, but every mother in there left with everything that they would need, and it was just a good feeling because everyone would assume it was just young mothers that needed stuff, but it was just mothers in general, twins. So many people carrying twins, but that was an awesome program. It was held in Bloomfield. There were some Orange moms in there, so that felt good as well. We have this awesome program through the fire in conjunction with police, their camp, where they actually learn how to be a police officer and learn how to be a firefighter. And we have Captain Dawson. Oh, he's back there. Yes, his number is Captain Mike Dawson, 973-952-6134. The camp will take place between July 6th and July 31st, 2026. And it's for girls and boys ages 11 to 15. They usually work out in Central Playground. It's such a good look, but they learn the military part of being respectful. They learn that there. So there's a lot of programs in Orange. And even though Ross, you know, because he's a 6 to 9 brother with my dad, so he, you know, that's his baby. But I'm just happy we have the programs. We'll figure out, because at the end of the day, we want the kids to win. And we'll figure out everything else that comes with that. And with that, I'm gonna close, and I'm gonna close with an Anne Frank quote. In spite of everything that goes on in the world, I think there are still good people. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Summers Johnson. Good evening. As Councilwoman Summers Johnson said, we did do an incredible community baby shower. It was held in Bloomfield. We serviced maybe about 100, 150 mothers. Each mother was able to leave with 2 or 3 bags of clothes. They range from diapers to car seats to bathtubs to playpens to everything. So I was just so proud to be a part of that. Want to let you know the City of Orange Township, the councilwomen, they did donate to this event. So things were given out from the councilwomen. I'm not saying anything against the councilmen, but we donated. We were part of the event. We also had an incredible Women's History program. I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday night at the community center, where we honored might have been about 15 or 16 of our lady police officers and firemen and community people. Great event. Councilman Ross and Montague sponsored that, as well as the other council members. We co-sponsored that as well. Just want you to know, like, sometimes when you see these events going on, the city's not paying for everything that you see. We're pulling money out of our own pockets to pay
Council
for these
President,
things. Yes,
they're
ma'am.
saying your microphone is off. They said mine
They
was
said
off
yours
as
was
well.
off, too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You hear?
They said it's off.
You can't hear neither one.
I don't know what to. Can you hear on this one, chap? You can?
Did you turn that back? Okay, it might be their TV.
Tap it to see if it's on. It's on. Okay, hers is on. All right.
Where was I? The Girl Scouts was amazing tonight. I was never a Girl Scout because I didn't want to leave my mama when I was a kid and join the Girl Scouts. My sisters did, but I was shy, so I wanted to stay at home with my mom, and that's what I did. But I did learn how to play the violin. So when they were doing their Girl Scout and Brownies thing, I was learning how to play the violin, which I absolutely love. That was absolutely amazing to see those young women in here tonight, like their eyes all wide with excitement. Like they're like, oh my God, I'm in the city council chambers. Oh my goodness, this is a council person or a councilman. This is the mayor, this is the assembly person. They haven't been tainted with negative attitudes about the city yet. They went to the mayor's office. They went, and I think you took them on a tour of everything, right? So B.A. Chris had about, 50 girls? Leading them down the stairs into the various offices, and then he came back up and spoke to them. But to see those young ladies that excited about their town and about being Girl Scouts and getting their badges. What badge did they get tonight, Councilwoman?
They were awarded their democracy badge, and they also got a cookie CIA badge.
So to get those badges, see, I know nothing about the badges. My sisters and them used to like brag about them, but I didn't know. Was absolutely amazing, and it makes you feel absolutely amazing to see those young children like that, so enthused about their town. I bought 4 boxes of cookies. I'm gonna hide them in my car, so I won't take them in the house. I'll just eat a bit when I'm in the car. That's your fault, Councilwoman Hilbert.
Put one in the freezer for later.
I know, right? So, going to some legislation, I have a question about 178. That's the Historic Preservation Committee. So, if they didn't notice everyone who they should have noticed, how are they able to operate? There might be a law.
That's what I was going to say.
Mr. City Attorney.
My understanding is that they're a separate entity, so.
I can't hear, I'm sorry.
I can't hear you.
Hello? Can I have the question again, Council President? Can you hear me now?
So, yes. So if they did not send out notices to everyone that are in those historic areas, like how are they able to continue to operate?
So that would be an issue. So we'd have to look into whether or not notices were actually sent. That would be an issue.
Okay. So if we're not sure of that, how would we be able, or should we be paying an attorney? Like, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, if the board exists, cool, but if they aren't supposed to be operating?
Quite frankly, the attorney that is selected would be able to answer any and all those questions, quite frankly.
Okay. All right, so we should just go to the historic committee?
Correct.
Okay. I'll write him a letter. I'm also really concerned about 163, and I was not gonna say anything about it at all, and that's that appropriations resolution, where we're taking money from certain areas and we're giving money to certain areas. So the last department in that list that we're taking money from, I think, is recreation. And we're taking $60,000 from recreation, and we're giving it to those other entities on the right-hand side, if I'm right. because I don't have the paper. And this is regarding the budget year of 2025, right?
Correct.
So you're gonna add 100,000 that we voted on before. Now it's another 60,000 that's still regarding the 2025 budget. But we were told as council members that there was no money in recreation to run programs. So how is that?
I can't answer the question. I never said that there was no money for programs, but as far as the transfer resolution, this is a transfer of appropriation reserves. As you indicated, it deals with the calendar year 2025 budget. We've since closed out the budget. We've moved on to the year 2026. The invoices that came in from the Board of Education were way lower than we anticipated and way lower than the amount of the contract that was authorized by the City Council. After we've paid the Board of Education, there were funds left in this account. They were identified, and now the money is being transferred to other funds, to other accounts where usually in the succeeding year, we have old invoices that come in, specifically like refuse removal, street services. You'll see a lot of money is being transferred there because we have outstanding invoices for traffic directors that need to be handled. So all of the recreation liabilities, purchase orders have been satisfied, and now the money is being transferred. Nothing else will be charged to 2025 because the year has been closed. Everything else will be charged to 2026 in the calendar year 2026.
At what point did we know that we had that surplus in 2025 for recreation?
Once we received that invoice from the Board of Education, it came, I could tell you when it came if you give me a minute.
Okay.
December 8th, 2025 is when we received the signed PO and invoice from the Board of Education.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't have any other comments.
Council President?
Councilwoman Summers
I never
Johnson.
do this, but I forgot to say something. Can I say it real quick? It's just an announcement. So I'm very happy to announce that there's going to be a community food distribution day at the Orange Public Library this Saturday from 10 to 12:30. And free library cards will be given out, free bag of produce, groceries. They're gonna, I believe St. Barnabas will be there, the SNAP program, these are the sponsors. But it's an experience a day focused on community care and support by nourishing your mind and body. And this is this Saturday, March 21st, 2026, from 10 to 12:30 at the Orange Public Library, 348 Main Street. If you need more information, you're going to call 973-786-3988. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Council President, can I just piggyback on what you was talking about with this appropriation? And to you now, I have a little problem with this too, because this means that all of this money, this $395,000, we over budgeted, in these departments. Is that fair to say?
We budgeted what was necessary at the time of the contracts that were authorized. So we budgeted what was necessary to have all of the money in place for the contracts that were authorized. Just as you approve contracts that are on the council agenda tonight, it's my job to make sure that encumbrances are in place for everything that you've authorized. Now, when it comes to the end of the year, let me back up. The contracts also say it's an amount not to exceed. It doesn't mean it's the full amount, but I have to make sure that the amount not to exceed is encumbered. When we get to the end of the year and the departments say that they've satisfied all of their liabilities, they've paid all of their open invoices, then the state allows you to transfer within caps to different line items so that you can satisfy other liabilities that may arise throughout the year.
And I think, something that Council President was alluding to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but recreation, there was a lot of things that we couldn't do this last year in recreation because they always said there was no money, for funding. So now you have $60,000 surplus. So why couldn't that money be used for recreation issues?
So I think we're confusing the availability of money with the availability of staff. You have to remember that during the layoffs, one of the hardest hit departments was the Recreation Community Service Department. As a result, we couldn't run certain programs, and we contracted with the Board of Ed to run those programs. That contract was estimated at a particular amount based on the number of people we thought would be employed and the number of people who would participate in those programs. We got a late start with respect to implementing that contract, and consequently paid a lot less to the Board of Ed than we had contracted for. So the vast majority of this money that you see in recreation that's being transferred comes from that under expenditure of that contract. It's not that we had a lot of money in recreation and could have done a lot of programs. We didn't have staff to do programs. That's why we entered into the contract with the Board of Ed.
So couldn't some of this money, I'm sorry, Councilwoman.
Go ahead, finish what you were saying to say. Go ahead,
So
then
couldn't some of this money be used to hire people? And remember, we appropriated $100,000 from recreation. I can't remember when. So I'm thinking that was a surplus then. I mean, I'll pull the resolution. So we pulled $100,000, we transferred $100,000 back when. And then this bill came in on December the 8th. And so now we have the $60,000 left. So we understand that we didn't have staff, but we could have hired people per diem. We could have hired vendors. We could have done a number of things.
Well, the money that went into the contract for the Board of Ed was the operational and expense money for programs for recreation. That's why it was in the budget. So we just reallocated it to the contract. That doesn't get to staffing at all. Those staffing cuts were made on the salary and wage side. So could we have used a portion of the money that was allocated for operation and expense for other operation and expense items? Yes, we could have.
All right. Councilwoman Easton?
And I was going to add to that. One of the things that I've been seeking, and I guess back in the day, in the years that I've been here, and I came here in 1973, a lot of those programs that were ran by recreation, we had volunteer coaches, we had young people volunteer their time and service. And one of the things that's killing us today, nobody wants to even pick up a pen to do anything unless you pay them. So I guess we got to get back to, you talk about cutting the budget dollars, encouraging our young people to give back some time. We have a lot of kids in junior high, high school, juniors and seniors that need that community service. So I think we could go out and solicit some of them to run some of those programs with the young people so that we don't have to always pay people for everything they do. I don't know what, because I don't think the Girl Scouts, any of those people get paid for running the Girl Scouts. Do they, Councilwoman?
Absolutely not.
So they're volunteers. So, I mean, we got to promote volunteerism more to get our people involved in doing things and don't always expect to get paid to do it. And one of the things I want to say, and when we promote like food banks and things like that, one of the pieces that's missing that the residents are complaining, we say we're giving away food. You get to the event, they want an ID, they want your address, you got to fill out this form. So I think when we start talking about these programs, we need to let the residents know what's required if you're going to go to a food bank or if you're going to go to a food giveaway.
Yeah, I think it says
Because
Orange
all of
residents
those
only.
people are tracking,
It
so they
is.
want you to sign your name, address, show me your ID, where do you live? So if that's part of it, we need to let the public know so they don't get there and get frustrated because they don't have these items and they can't get any food or anything.
Council President?
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
And back to the volunteer, I know back in the day, if you said you were gonna coach, then your child was able to participate for free. So it was kind of an incentive, to do it. And also, a lot of times people complain about fees. But when I'm out of town spending triple, if not 4 times the little bit of money that we charge for recreation, I don't know how our fees, like it doesn't, like we charge $25 and the town over will charge like $800 for the same type of AAU. Because last year we had a traveling AAU team. It was like maybe $50, I want to say, but there were over 100 kids running through Lincoln Avenue School, parents sitting in the stand, you know what I mean? So I just think sometimes the fees that we charge for the programs should kind of pay for the program itself, so we're not losing money. It's not really costing the city money, you know, because everyone always brings up South Orange. What they don't realize, South Orange rents out their parks to United, something. I put my kids, you're not paying South Orange. So a lot of times they think these programs are from these towns and they always do this compare and contrast. They don't know the facts. These programs, because they rent out the park. So maybe we can partner and use, like she said, vendors, just so we can provide those. Because back in the day, we used to take the kids for ice skating lessons and bowling lessons. We don't have a bowling alley and we don't have an ice skating rink, but we provided the transportation to get them there. And, you know, these are just ideas, because people are spending money on their kids' activities. Trust me, they are spending the money. So it's just, you know, better for them to spend it here. So.
Council President?
Councilwoman Hilbert.
I kind of want us to go back to the questioning in regards to the money being available but not being used in anticipation for whatever bills might or might not arrive. Isn't that something that the director will be able to pick up on what she has in her budget and how she's able to allocate? Because those bills didn't come in until December. There were a lot of opportunities we missed in October and November to use that for the community. Am I making sense?
To me.
So the summer programs that we contracted for ended in August. There were some additional contracting programs that we had into the fall. I was aware that we were not spending the amount of money that was in the contract, but we didn't have an invoice to be able to unencumber and amend the amount that was encumbered for the contract. So could we have called and perhaps gotten an invoice earlier from the Board of Ed? Perhaps.
Chris, if I may, with all due respect, I asked the Board of Education. We pay them on a quarterly basis, the Board of Education and school levy. I asked them every time I see them. I asked them in July when I dropped off the check, and I asked them in November. It wasn't ready. But in my defense, I never told anyone there wasn't any money. And I'm not taking this personally, but with all due respect to everyone here, I communicate with all of the departments, and I never heard anyone say that there wasn't any money, or I gave them that answer. I work with them. The only thing that Mr. Ballard said to me was it's going to be less than what we anticipated. So knowing that, I know that we had some wiggle room, and if there was something came up, maybe I unencumbered $5,000 to be able to help out or something for a program. But in the director's defense, we didn't receive the invoice until December 8th. I mean, it's a $470,000 contract. We had to keep the encumbrance in place until we had the invoice. And then we release the funds to do transfers, et cetera.
Let me clarify. Thank you for adding that, because I think we all needed that. But let me just clarify. When I say the director, I'm not speaking directly about yourself, because, I mean, you're actually a CFO. But I'm saying like the director of community services, right? How often are we having the conversations with the directors on what's in their budget line item, on what they have to spend on a quarterly basis? How often are we having that conversation with them?
They're responsible for monitoring their budgetary expenditures on an ongoing basis. So they get and can get, by going into the financial system, a budgeted versus expended report at any time during the year.
Okay. So it just never really was requested.
They've-
That's what I'm getting
So
from
I
it.
can't give you an exact instance, but there are plenty of times where directors may ask what's their balance or how are we looking. Chief Brown will call me up, how are we looking in our training budget? Directors reach out to me various times throughout the year. I can't tell you how many times the director of community services asked, but she's asked and we communicated that. Again, I never communicated that there wasn't any money. I'm not sure where this came from.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. President, can I ask one question?
Councilwoman Neeson.
So, College Park, what happens, where does the money go when we lease College Park to the soccer teams?
Goes into the Recreation Trust.
Goes where?
Goes into the Recreation Trust.
Can, the CFOs tell us at some point how much money we have raised renting that, leasing that park to the soccer teams?
Yes, I could work on that information.
Can you provide that to us? Even though we have cut back quite a lot because we need to give the neighborhood access to that park sometimes. We need to be mindful of how many times we rent it out. I think we've cut back some of the contracts. Can you let us know how much money we have so far, maybe last year?
Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 minute.
Yeah.
It includes multiple rentals, but the total for rentals, including the field house, College Park, there's another field on here, $16,055 in 2025.
And so that was for 1 year?
Yes, that's central. There's various parks. We have a code for facility rentals and field rentals. The revenue for that code in 2025 was $16,055.
That's all?
For 2025, yes, ma'am.
We need to take a 10-minute recess, please. 15-minute recess.
Smell fire.
Yeah, it smells something.
You got my text, Marlon? Can you help me with that?
How are you?
Gotta get out.
I help everybody. Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, thank God for that.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Oh, really? Thank you.
Just in case we don't come back.
All right, we're done, right?
What?
Good?
Come on, President.
I'm
You know
coming.
I gotta be the last one. I can't leave y'all.
Sorry.
Let's go, y'all. Let's go. Let's go.
Summers, Hilbert, and Easton again.
All the ones that still
No,
alive, never mind.
that's it? I think this is one.
All the ones that still alive.
Up in the chamber.
I didn't go off the broadcast.
I can't, this is crazy. Nobody would believe us. Yeah, they cleared it. All right, all right. Jamie. Huh? Do you know that?
The mics are still on.
Oh, never mind.
I might.
They
They
were,
were,
I
I
said.
They really left. Yes. I don't know why y'all didn't listen to me. The whole time they was over here, their stomachs was grumbling. Grumbling tongues.
Oh, they did that before, but you still
Here we
couldn't hear
go.
them.
1, 2.
Where's Trish?
I'm alive. I'm on you. Councilwoman Hilbert. We're ready.
She
Yeah, right here.
Not
Not
her
her
in
in
the,
the-
not her in the doorway. I'm coming. I just wanted some water.
Council comments are over, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we're about to go into the thing.
Let's go.
Okay, sir.
We are resumed at 9:30 PM. Thank you all for being patient.
Where were we? Let's just go.
All right, here we go. Ordinance, there were no ordinances on second reading. Ordinance on introduction and first reading. Ordinance 2-2026, an ordinance establishing emergency preparedness, critical incident mapping, and active shooter response coordination with the City of Orange Township in accordance with New Jersey state law, submitted by Council President Adrian Wooten and the Orange Municipal Council. Is there a motion?
Move.
Second, Hilbert.
Motion by Council President Wooten, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On the motion,
I have a question. Move. On this one real quick. How are we going to, my understanding that all of this has been done by the Board of Education, so how
When
are
we
we
were
going?
at the PCC meeting, the police officer said they didn't have mapping of the
That's
building.
not true. I talked to the board business administrator today.
I'm
They
just
have the
telling
mapping.
you,
They
when we
did
were at
that.
the PCC meeting,
I know what the police
he
officer said.
said,
But the thing about it is, I called the police department and I also talked to our chief. The mapping is done in conjunction with the board does the mapping. They have panic buttons in every school except Cleveland and part of the high school. All of their mapping is complete because they did it back when they were starting to put the panic button in. So I'm just saying, how are we going to monitor? And the police chief would like to come to the next meeting, him and, I think it's, Lieutenant Tangoli, and just explain it to us how this works and what's happening, if we want to get an update.
so if we want to hold it, we can.
So can we hold it and have them come?
But he specifically announced at that meeting,
He
Chief
must- who
Mooney
was that?
did.
Chief Mooney today. I talked to him today.
Okay, that's fine.
So can I say we hold this until he comes and gives us a presentation so we can make sure what we're doing is the right thing in conjunction with what they're doing?
so you want to receive?
Well, I mean, whatever they're doing, I hope it's pursuant to the state.
Yeah, they,
Okay.
what is that, Elisa's law? They are.
No, it's several different
Yeah,
ones.
I know, I looked at all of them.
Yeah.
And we checked to make sure all of them had passed. So let's just have them come and give us what,
So are you,
presentation, yeah.
so are you asking to postpone?
On the matters of
Yeah.
discussion? That's what you want to do?
So I'm gonna say motion to postpone until.
Wait,
they-
you can't, wait, we have to rescind the two, the two motions on the floor.
I rescind my second.
I rescind my first.
Okay. So now you can, if you have, now you can have a motion to postpone.
A motion to postpone till they come and Ms. Scipio, can you reach out to the chief and lieutenant so they can explain to us what they're doing or what has been done?
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to postpone. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to postpone is made by Councilwoman Easton, second by Council President Wooten. On the motion. Roll call, Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III is absent. Councilman Ross is absent. Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
That's 5 yeas, 2 absence. This is approved. It will be postponed to the April 7th meeting. Okay, consent agenda. All items with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the city council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. The first thing I want to bring up is that Resolution 171-2026 was amended. It went from an amount not to exceed $121,130.
176?
Yes, no. 171-2026, that resolution, it was amended from an amount not to exceed $121,130 to $128,970. Okay?
And what about the one about the shared services? Is that going to be amended for part-time?
Which one?
Shared services?
For the health officer?
We looked at that again, and what they're saying is that it's a shared service for one full-time health officer. In other words, there's one full-time health officer that's going to be shared between 2 municipalities. That's what it's referencing. So it really doesn't have to be changed to part-time.
Okay.
So it's our health officer
Correct.
that's going to be working in both cities?
Correct.
Full time?
By the way,
Yeah.
we've done this with Belleville for years.
Right, I remember.
With what? With
With the health
what
officer.
role?
Yeah,
With a health
shared.
officer?
Yeah. We did shared services every year with Belleville.
Come on, let's go. We're getting sick.
Okay. Anything else on resolutions?
Can you pull 170, what's that historic thing? 178
178
and 163.
and 163.
178 and what?
163. Anything else?
No,
Okay.
keep moving.
All right. The consent agenda consists of 156, 157, 158, 159, 160, 161, 162, 164, 165, 166, 167, 168, 169, 170, 171, 172, 173, 174, 175, 176, 177, 179, 180, 181, 182, 183, 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190, and 191. Do we need to take something else off?
No.
Oh, sorry. Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Hilbert.
A motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On the motion. Roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III is absent. Councilman Ross is absent. Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
That's 5 yeas and 2 nays. This has been approved. Resolution 16.
Go to 178 first.
No problem. Resolution 178, a resolution authorizing the award of a professional service contract to Zafferman Lacan PC to provide legal counseling to the Orange Historic Preservation Commission of the City of Orange Township in matters as they relate to the Historic Preservation Commission for the calendar year 2026 in an amount not to exceed $5,000. Is there a motion? If you vote it up or down, it's still gotta get a motion. You said it's 178. That's what we got, 178.
Motion Coley.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion by Councilman Coley, second by Councilwoman Summers Johnson. On the motion. Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton.
No.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III is absent. Councilman Ross is absent. Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
No.
Council President Wooten.
No.
That's 2 yeas, 3 noes. This has failed. Resolution 163-2026. A resolution for the transfer of appropriation reserves. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second Coley.
With that,
Can you rescind the motions for one moment, please? I apologize.
I rescind my motion.
Rescind my motion.
Yeah. We're gonna take the agenda out of. Take the.
What happened?
Okay. All right, let's start this again.
I saw your car, Bella Tie.
Resolution 163-2026, a resolution for the transfer of appropriation reserves. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second Coley.
Motion by Councilwoman Eason, second by Councilman Coley. On the motion, roll call. Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Abstain.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
No.
Council President Wooten?
No.
That's 4 yeas, 2 noes, and 1 abstain. This doesn't pass. Okay.
Can I ask the question? Mr. Howard.
Councilwoman Eason?
Mr. Howard,
Yeah.
what happens if we don't do the reserves? If we don't do the transfer?
So you will have an unpaid expenditure from the lines that you're doing the transfers to. And you're at the end of the year, so that'll become an audit issue. You can't leave a bill unpaid, so the transfers are allowed up to and through March, but they're no longer allowed in April. So if the resolution doesn't pass, then you will have unfunded expenditures for the year 2025.
Well, that means that we will have to pay for that out of the 2026 budget? The
Well, not
bill?
only will you have to pay for it out of the 26 budget, but you will end up with an audit comment, like I said, for an unfunded expenditure.
Can someone vote yes so we can get that done?
Would there be any interest
Would there what?
accrued, like any interest or any penalty charges for any of those invoices?
No.
Council President to the debate, does this eventually affect our bond rating?
Your audits, if you end up with audit comments, that's always reviewed by your bond rating agencies.
Thank you. All right.
I would just implore one of the 3 council people any one of the 3 council people that didn't vote in favor to reconsider their vote so that this matter can be put to bed for the 2025 fiscal year.
I mean, CFO has given us good advice so far. I mean, why not support it? I don't think he's trying to steer us in the wrong direction.
Council President,
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
my only issue is when we start to cut departments, it always seems to go to what hits my home, which is seniors and recreation. And even though, it was said that they didn't say it, but I guess you could almost assume because we didn't do the same programs that we did last year that there was no money unless we just decided, not to do those programs. So I don't know. And then when we get to votes like these, it's almost like, what's the point in voting? Because if we don't vote for it, it's almost like you have to vote for it. It's really like not something where you like have a choice, which I think we should always have a choice. I don't think it should get to the point where it's like you have to vote yes. That's just in my opinion.
I appreciate that, but staff is doing the best job that they can under difficult circumstances.
I agree.
And nobody liked the layoffs, but the layoffs actually contributed to the fact that we had to do programming outside on a contractual basis. We didn't spend the money. So, and we spent money in other areas that we now have to cover. It's really that simple. And I would hate to see an audit comment because we couldn't muster 5 votes for this resolution.
Council
It's the
President.
last transfer resolution of the year.
So this is my statement. What I want is, I'm gonna tell you, as the South Ward, it's a lot of things that I have to vote yes for because I'm trying to do it for the betterment of the city, and I take a lot of hits. I take a lot of hits for things. And when I vote yes for things, it doesn't always go as easy. You know what I'm saying? So I will change my vote, but I'm telling you right now, I do not want to hear another situation where it's like you have to vote yes. We should always have an opportunity to vote no if we feel we should vote no. And I don't want to ever have to like push someone to the point where they have to change their vote. I just think just if we do things orderly and we're transparent with everyone, letting us know why we're not doing things, because we're going back to the public telling them one thing, and like that's why things go back to it needs to be in writing so that no one can say, I don't know who said it or whatever. Like, I don't want to misrepresent or say someone said something they didn't. So can we go through the process? I'll change my vote.
Can I get a motion to reconsider?
Motion to reconsider, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
Motion to reconsider was made by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call, Councilman Coley?
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Abstain.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
No.
This is to reconsider. Still
Oh.
saying no to reconsider? Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so that was one, that's 5 yeas, 1 nay, and 1 abstain. This is approved. Resolution 163-2026.
That's what we just voted on, right?
No, we didn't. We had, it was a motion to reconsider.
Okay.
A resolution to transfer of appropriation reserves. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Easton, second by Councilman Montague III. Reconsider. On the motion, Councilman Coley?
Yes.
I want to do on the motion.
I'm sorry, on the motion. I went too fast.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson, can we, being that we're going to reconsider, I guess, how do we avoid having this same issue in 2026? That we don't get to use the money for recreation that is appropriated? I think that's the real issue, that we need to make sure that we are not here in 2027 doing the same thing. That if the money is there, we find a way to utilize those funding for the benefit of the children.
Okay, like I said, we would have, but for the fact that we didn't have enough time to spend the money by virtue of the fact that we got started late with the program. So if the program starts on time this year, there won't be this amount of money left over from that contract.
So can we, I guess, I don't know, how do we ensure that the program gets started on time this year?
That's not up to us.
Is it up to us or the school district?
It's both.
So I guess we need to talk to the superintendent.
I've been talking to them.
Well, we can set up a meeting with them, put some pressure on them also. I mean, that's part of our responsibility. We can meet with the superintendent, let him know where we are, what we need, and see if we can all come together, and I'll set up that meeting if it needs to be set up.
May I
Council
pose
President?
another question while we're on the motion?
Councilman Coley.
Yeah, just one thing, is, if I recall correctly, Mr. CFO, you said that this Board of Ed, they reimbursed us in December, correct?
They submitted the invoice in December.
They submitted the invoice
Yes, sir.
in December.
Yes, sir.
So when they submitted the invoice, was that when we actually received additional monies into that account?
When they submitted the invoice, we processed the invoice and then we reduced the amount that was encumbered.
Okay.
But just to put things in perspective, we had a Christmas tree lighting. A purchase order was generated on 12/1. We received the invoice on 12/8. There were encumbrances made against the recreation account in December, so I'm not sure where this narrative came from. I mean, if there's an email, if you guys have anything in writing that you could share with me, that would be helpful. But I can show you where there are encumbrances against the recreation O&E budget in December before we received that invoice. So I just disagree with this narrative.
So basically, we were anticipating spending that entire line item.
Correct.
But it said when they submitted the invoice, it was $60,000 less.
Yeah,
than
it
what
was
we
more than that.
anticipated on
It was more than
spending.
that. It was like $250,000 less.
So
Correct.
that's where the, I guess the surplus came in at.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Council
Councilwoman
President?
Hilbert, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't know if you were going to say something.
Okay.
My question is, the Budget and Finance Committee, do they review these resolutions for appropriation before it comes to the agenda?
There hasn't been a meeting for them to review.
Okay, so I'm going to ask another question. It might sound silly, but I'm not on the committee, so I don't know. How often are they required to meet?
It's a council committee, so they're required to meet whenever they want.
Okay. So I'm guessing if a meeting was called maybe, let's say, January or February, would this have been something that the committee would have saw and they could have asked all these questions prior to the meeting?
Usually the finance committee reviews everything that deals with the dollar sign. So yes.
Okay. All right. I'm good.
Roll call. Come on, Trish.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Roll call. Councilman Coley?
What am I voting on? I forgot.
We're voting on
Now we're voting on
163-2026,
Okay.
actually.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
No.
That's 6 yeas, 1 no. This is approved. Okay. My paper's a mess now. New business, walk-on ordinances, walk-on resolutions, and other pending business. Can I get a motion to walk on Resolution 192-2026 WO, a resolution authorizing an award of a non-fair and open contract to Strategic Advisors LLC to provide health education content services to the City of Orange Township from November 1, 2025 through March 31st, 2026 in the amount not to exceed $29,650, and Resolution 193-2026 WO, a resolution honoring the life and legacy of Dwight Mitchell.
Motion, Summers Johnson.
Second, Wooten.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Council President Wooten. On the motion, Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Easton?
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
Yes.
Councilman Montague III?
Yes.
Councilman Ross?
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council President Wooten?
Yes.
That's 7 yeas. This has been approved. Those two resolutions have been walked onto the agenda. Resolution 192-2026 WO, a resolution authorizing an award of a non-fair and open contract to Strategic Health Advisors LLC to provide health education content services to the City of Orange Township from November 1, 2025 through March 31st, 31st, 2026, in an amount not to exceed $29,650. Is there a motion?
Motion,
Summers Johnson.
Second, Wooten.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Council President Wooten. On the motion.
On the motion, I don't have it.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have one.
You
It was-
probably took it with you.
It was sitting on your,
Was it?
yeah.
Oh, maybe I think the fireman took it.
The fireman
He
took it.
blamed it on the fireman.
Thank you.
So, did you have a question, Councilman?
No question, thank you.
Okay.
I do.
On the motion.
Councilwoman Gilbert.
Yes, so this is a walk-on. So what does this entails? And can you just give us a quick crash course 101?
So, let me just read this real quick. Okay, so there were grants that were given out throughout the state, and they do a review of we received some of those grants
Okay.
for this purpose. They do a review during the course or towards the end of the grant period, and those people who have not expended their grants, they get that money reallocated. So it becomes available again. So here is money that became available again that we're grabbing to continue some of the programs that we had funding for originally. And that's all this is.
Okay, so this will just continue the work that we were already doing, and this is also going to expand to older adults and recreation as well?
Correct.
Okay. Does this also pay for the salary of?
Yes, it does.
Okay, you know exactly where I was going with this. All right, that was my only questions. Thank you.
She answered it.
Okay. Roll call. Councilman Coley.
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilman Montague III.
Yes.
Councilman Ross.
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas. This is approved. Resolution 193.
Do we have the Dwight Mitchell one?
No, we don't
We're
have
walking
it.
it on
We
from the
just
floor.
walking it on because we don't have the information yet, and the services will be before.
Could I just say that Councilman Montague had,
I can't hear.
on Facebook,
She won't pull a mic up to her.
Councilwoman
Pull your
Eason,
mic
could you
on.
move up to the mic?
on Facebook was a great caption or a great write-up. Instead of using the obituary, I'm gonna suggest we use what was on Facebook. Only thing we need, because I think when we use the obituary, it's redundant, because people read the obituary, then you get a proclamation saying the same thing, then you get another, it's redundant. So there was a good write-up on Facebook.
Thank you.
The only thing I think we need to add is that he was the city clerk for so many, you know what I'm saying?
Right, I just said affiliated.
Once I
Yeah.
create it, I'll send it out for your review.
Yeah, so
For,
could get
everybody's
the one
review.
that he used
You
that
want me to
as
send it
the,
to you? Send it.
Yes.
as the proclamation? Okay.
Resolution, yes.
Resolution, yeah.
Okay. So, resolution, 193-2026 WO, a resolution to honor the life and legacy of Dwight Mitchell. Is there a motion?
Motion Coley.
Second,
Second.
Eason.
Motion by Councilman Coley, second by Councilwoman Eason on the motion. Roll call, Councilman Coley,
Yes.
Councilwoman Eason,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilman Montague III,
Yes.
Councilman Ross,
Yes.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Council President Wooten.
Yes.
That's 7 yeas, and this is approved. Postpone ordinances. Ordinance. Are we keeping this, Chris? We still want to postpone it, or is that- Okay. Postponed ordinances. Ordinance 72-2025, an ordinance to amend section 200-32, no parking, and section 200-42, schedule 11, loading zones of the City of Orange Township City Code. The recommendation is to remain postponed to the April 17th meeting. Is there,
Excuse me. Point of order, Council President.
Councilwoman Eason.
For 72 and 510, could we make Could I make a recommendation that we bring them on, vote them down, and start them all over? Because we keep dragging them and dragging them, so we can take them off the agenda, work out the kinks, and then bring them back. 72, because it's been on the agenda for 72, 2025, and 510, 2025.
Yeah. So you wanna just vote it down?
Okay, so the recommendation is to vote it down? You all in agreement? Okay, so is there a motion to adopt? 70, we're gonna adopt, and you vote no.
Motion.
Second.
Motion to adopt was made by Councilwoman Easton, second by Councilman Montague III. On the motion, roll call, Councilman Coley.
Yes.
No.
No.
No. Oh, you say yes to vote no. I got
Correct.
confused. It's getting late.
The smoke is getting to his head, so he's got.
Yeah, right, we
No.
all. Councilwoman Easton?
No.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
No.
Councilman Montague III?
No.
Councilman Ross?
No.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
No.
Council President Wooten?
No.
That's 7 noes. Has failed. Postpone resolutions 510-2025, a resolution expressing the intent of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township to implement a municipal fleet ordinance pursuant to the attached proposed ordinance and establishing a timeline for full implementation by July 2026. Can I get a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Easton, second by Councilwoman Hilbert. On the motion, roll call, Councilman Coley?
No.
Councilwoman Easton?
No.
Councilwoman Hilbert?
No.
Councilman Montague III?
No.
Councilman Ross?
No.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
No.
Council President Wooten?
No.
That's 7 noes. This has failed. Is there anything else for the good of the order? Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Summers Johnson.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Summers Johnson, second by Councilwoman Easton. All those in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? You said you, that's adjournment time at 10:02. Excuse me, Attorney Montellis. I just wanted to say good night.